Hello. This is my predictions for today's tournament. This is the day of that the South African nationals start up, and they're actually starting right about now. And these are my predictions for how the event will go, who will win. Um, Basically, these predictions are just based on the lists that I've seen. And so they're not based on knowing any of the players. They're not based on anything else but my evaluation of the lists and which lists I think is strong enough to win. Now, um, the last few times we've done this, it's been around 60% accurate with list. If I knew the players better, I could do this at approximately 80%. Um, so it's really interesting to see if this actually matches up. So that is why I'm recording this now at the beginning and not afterwards. So let's see what my predictions are. And I am going to name names here. I am going to actually point to the names of the players that I think might have a chance of winning this. So if anyone feels uncomfortable with that, please don't watch the video. And I'm also going to give my interpretation of what the lists that they are bringing are. Not, I'm not going to, I'm not going to sort of go through all the lists here. I have gone through many of the lists. Go back and watch the list reviews. This is not a list review. So let's go. These are my predictions for the top 10. Um, and they are in alphabetical order, as you can see. But I will also give you a little bit of info about each of them and why I think that they might do well. The first one is Anton. Anton is bringing a 16 auto dice mounted recon uh, list where the mounted recon are in universal carriers. This list we've seen before. It can be done really well. We've seen it done at the WTC. The captain of Denmark 2, Jan Petersen, brought a mounted recon list and did very well. It is a very good competitive build, but there are things that you're going to have to be aware of and deal with. So I think Anton is going to do well. 16 order dice is also very high. It's the second highest order dice count of the tournament. Then we have Bruce, who's bringing a veteran British in universal carriers again. So it's sort of the same army build here. It's a mechanized army of veterans. Again, this is a strong build, although I do think that the Soviet one is a little bit better. Bruce is also sitting at 16 order dice. Then we have Dale, who's bringing the completely overpowered Indian Commonwealth lists. And his list is basically a tank list. Again, because he is bringing 2 tanks, I think you can have in a Commonwealth platoon, and he's bringing Bren carriers, so lots of armored vehicles here. And then, of course, the free Indian unit and the free artillery observer. Then we have David. David is bringing a very unusual American MSU list. If David is in any way a good player, if he's been training with this MSU list, I think he might end up in top 10. He has 20 order dice. It's clearly the strongest order dice count of the field here, and he has a lot of potential with this list. However, it might also do horribly wrong if he doesn't know what he's doing. Then we have John Gordon and his Soviets. They are CeeLo Heights. You know them, you hate them, or love them, depending on whether you play CeeLo Heights. It is recognized at least previously, was recognized as being the most overpowered theater selector you can play. It's really, really strong, especially because you get double artillery choices and you get double tank choices. So Gordon is, of course, bringing loads of nasty stuff in his list here, and my prediction is he'll do well. Then we have Cobus, who is bringing motorized American vets. Again, you can see a theme here. I am evaluating all these motorized lists as being good competitively. I might be wrong though. The issue here is, of course, that Americans, if you're bringing veterans, you're paying more points for what you'll need. You could be bringing regular engineers instead. So there's a trade-off here, and maybe America, the US, is not the best nation for this build. But it is a pretty good build still, and I think Cobus will do well as well. Then we have Peter's Soviets. Peter is bringing, again, a 16 organized list. He is bringing motorized Soviet veterans, and I think, again, we are seeing a lot of the universal carriers. So a lot of this Lend-Lease program will actually win the war for the Allies, I think. Then we have the first non-allied list that I think might do well, and the only one that is not of the big three, the Soviets, the Americans, and the Brits, which is Picky's Finns. Picky is bringing a mixed bag of Finnish infantry, but there's a lot of good skirmishers there. If he knows what he's doing, he can do well. We've seen Finnish lists win tournaments before, so that is definitely a possibility. And the final one that I'm predicting will end up in the top 10 is Rudy, the South African WTC team captain, who's bringing a Soviet list. Rudy's list is 14 order dice, and he is bringing an assault-heavy list. So this is my predictions. Let's see how the day goes. I'm looking forward to this. Have a good day. Cheers, and good luck to all players.